I got it. Oh, yo, Thomas, what's up? How
Let me get my.
you doing, dude?
I'm doing okay. Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound pretty good.
Okay, good. I lost my Apple headphones recently, so I'm using like cheap knockoffs.
Oh, did you? That sucks. The AirPods?
No, no, they were like the wired ones, but
Oh, I see. That sucks. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Good, good, wonderful. Sorry, I was out, but we can still talk. It's not an issue.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, but yeah, what'd you think of what I added in there, the new contract?
I see. So you talked with Cam and the rest of the team, and then you added that in.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool. What did they think of the project? What was their thoughts on it?
Well, I kind of forced them to let me do it. I'm like, it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna cost a few thousand, but whatever, man. Like,
Mhm.
we're gonna have this forever. It's gonna be a great thing, you know. So, um, I told them this is the best way for our students to increase because I told them about like situation where you're repeating the same stuff over and over.
Mhm.
So, I'm like, he'll save him time. He can focus on stuff that he actually likes to teach, and
Mhm.
then all the basics will be cleared for everyone. So they're into it. They're into it. The the other thing they were kind of skeptical about was the budget. They're like, I told them like, guys, we need a 1.3K for this. They're like, why you need a 1.3K? Because I originally told them 400. I'm like, do you guys want it to be good or not? And they're like, yeah, obviously. I'm like, give me more. I'm like, okay. So yeah, took a while to up that, but
Hmm.
we need to use that wisely and to its fullest extent. Because
Okay. Would like in terms of how that budget is allocated, is that mostly going to be like for the editors for the video?
it can be however we do it,
Hmm.
as we see best fit. Like if we want to do it mostly as editing and you want visuals on the videos, you want, like like stuff on the videos, then we can do most of it. We can do it for like one-time things we need to buy. We can do it for like just literally anything, to be honest. There's no 10% for this, 10 like it doesn't matter. Whatever. We can figure that now, honestly.
Okay, cool. Because I don't know, I'm sure you guys have experience with hiring editors for videos, right? I don't know how much that
Yeah,
costs. How much does
we
it
have
cost?
editors.
How,
Um,
like, if I wanted to edit a 6 minute video, right? And I just send them the raw footage.
it depends on how we edit it. So if we want like a lot of visuals, all that kind of stuff, then of course it'll be more expensive. Like
Mhm.
light editing could cost like $10, like just audio touch-ups, cutting out silence, cutting out just bad parts, smooth transitions. Like that would cost like $10, pretty cheap. But if we want like actual graphics, like moving parts, then of course it would cost a little more.
Mhm. Okay, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So I sent you a few screenshots. I don't know if you just saw them.
Yeah, I see them.
Yeah.
Is
So
this the original?
sorry.
Is this from the original stuff that's already on the school course?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was the original. Most of them aren't uploaded, but I just kind of sent those just to give you an idea of what it would look like. So the way we break down stuff, and then how we kind
Mhm.
of make the formulas. Now this is like an ugly version. We want this to be pretty. Like we want this to look really good. And so kind of what I did there, that's what we kind of want. We want formulas where we don't just want to change their way of approaching a question. We want to change the way they see it entirely,
Mhm.
which is the whole point of tutoring is to make it so that there's about 10 topics in the English section, like about just guesstimate.
Mhm.
And each of them have about 3 to 4 subtopics.
Yep.
And students usually, it's not one subject that they're bad at, it's one subtopic that they're bad at that's making them lose like 30, 40, 50 points. And so if you want someone to get a 1600, that's it. Like, there's just like 40 total things that they need to know, which means 40 formulas. And now that we have something that tracks their data on like exactly what type of questions they need help on, we'll always know what the weakness is and we'll always know exactly how to fix it. And so if you see those 2 formulas I sent, maybe I sent 3, I don't know.
Mhm.
You see I sent a command of evidence. Um, there's one that's graphs and then one that's like,
Mhm.
it says like paragraphs. I'm like, okay,
Right.
that's what we want. There's only 2
Yeah.
types of command of evidence questions.
Mhm.
So we're not just breaking it down by like information ideas. We're breaking it down by command of evidence, rhetorical
Yeah.
synthesis,
Mhm.
details, central ideas, like, and then subtopics of those. So it's gonna be very, very detailed. But
Yeah, that's honestly that's how I tutor it already. And I've encountered situations where students come to me and they're like, I did the approach and I got it wrong. And I'm like, okay, explain to me what you did. And they're like, they applied the wrong approach. Like they applied an approach for a different skill. And I'm like, okay, well
yeah,
that's wrong, obviously, right? So it does need to be like specific to each type of question, or else they're gonna get it wrong. So I
very specialized.
yeah.
So you have experience. This is why I wanted you on, because you feel the students. You know how they think.
Mhm.
So this will require a bit um, of the creative approach because you know how this works.
Mhm.
Like based on your experience, how would a student learn from this? What is the easiest way to remember? Abbreviations, metaphors.
Hmm.
Um, how do students um, like how can you break it down? Like what is the most common issues? Like you know this stuff. So
Um, so I think a lot of students go into it thinking that they need to read everything and understand everything, right?
mhm.
They aren't focusing on answering the question, which is the most
Yeah,
important part. And so what they need to do is they need to get they want to be more in like less of a problem solving mode and more of like a pattern recognition mode. So they should be
yeah,
able to just click through the problems and read the question first and know exactly what they need to do. Okay, first I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. And then it's like kind of like a, like a branch map, like it's like, okay, is this there? Yes or no? Like, is there a graph? Yes or no? If there's a graph, then I'm going to do this. If there's this part of the graph that I don't understand, then I'm going to do this. If that, then this, right? So it's like an
yes.
algorithm, and they need to basically program themselves to do that. So once they learn the formula, right? And the best way that they're going to do that is seeing an example. So I would show them an example like, okay, so first you do this, and then you do this. These are some things that people miss or they focus on this and they get it wrong. As long as you're thinking about it in this way and do this before you do this next thing, you will get it right, right? You will be understanding it better. And then really how they're going to cement that is by doing questions. So that's the most important part in my opinion. Once they learn the approach, they have to learn how to do that pattern recognition. So that can't be there on the test day and be like, hey, remember this approach and that approach.
Right. They can't be sitting there like, oh yeah, what's the formula? Like they should just know. They should know how to do it.
Yeah, and honestly, for the SAT, like I understand where the mnemonics thing is coming from for English, like especially with AP language, where they really want you to use like specific, um, the rhetorical, different things that they use, right? Like metaphors,
Yeah, yeah.
allegory. So you would want them to use mnemonics for that. But for the SAT English part, there's not a lot of stuff that they have to, there's not a lot of terms that they have to memorize. Really the only studying that they need to do is maybe studying up on some transition words. Like if they don't know what that is means, right, as a transition, they can't think their way through that. So that then they're fucked at that point. So they need to know those. They need to study those. They need to study. I would say that they should learn how to recognize what words mean for the words in context questions. So like if there's a prefix like you know, um, opti, that means I, right? Or anti, that means not, right? So knowing those prefixes and stuff, and like root words would help them a little bit. Um, so that's something they have to study. They also have to get used to a couple of the grammar rules, right? They have to know those. Um, but otherwise, there's not a lot where it's just like rote memorization, right? Maybe like for a biology or anatomy class, you have to do a lot of those mnemonics, but otherwise, it's not a lot of memorization. And the approach, it's not really like first, it's more of just like they should always just be thinking of what am I looking for before they start reading, and that's going to answer their question. So they don't have to memorize anything for these approaches. All they have to know is just be familiar with, okay, I see a graph, and I read the question, and it's telling me what information from the graph best supports the conclusion, right? Okay, so I want to know what the conclusion is, and the answer choices are all going to be formatted in a way where they're just like coordinates on the graph, right? So now I know what I want to find. I want to find um, the conclusion, which is going to show me a relationship between two variables. Let's go and find that. So that's really all they have to do. Um, I don't know. So what were you envisioning in terms of like the mnemonics and stuff like
So I made one for transitions. It's kind of
that?
like, here, let me just send you the transitions one. But before I send you that, one thing you brought up that's really important is words and context. That's the biggest weakness of almost anyone.
Yeah,
Um, and you're talking about prefixes, suffixes also work. But I think, to be honest, I think words and context is just knowing the words, like
that's
most
too.
of it.
It's really hard because I think knowing words, I think a lot of kids do know kind of the words, but I think they get really stressed out and like their brain blanks out when they see a word they don't know, right? Or they aren't super confident in what it is. But they have to remember that it's like 50, 60% of this question is just knowing what type of word should be there, right? And as long as you're like, okay, it should be like a noun kind of word that describes something positive, even if you don't even if you aren't super familiar with the word, you should be like able to like, I've never heard of that word in that context before. But otherwise, it's really hard for me to be like, just go and study 10,000 words, right? And just read all the
Yeah.
books. Um, yeah, I'm still kind of trying to figure that out because I don't want to burden these kids with something that's like not feasible, not plausible, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's how I think of it. If
Mhm.
if our goal is to get someone, let's say this is the course that'll get someone a perfect score in English. What would we do to make it so that they get to that point? Like they need it. So this person is starting off at let's say they're starting off at a 400. And we want to get them to an 800. That is the way we want to think about every step, which is if you want to get to 800, that means perfect, which means they need to know everything. If they need to know everything, that means word and context. The best way we can do it is I would think it's just pure memorization.
Mm.
Because I think at that point, if you're trying to focus on words and context, you're probably aiming for 800 anyways. Like most people are like happy with like a 700, 750. And that's like a few um words and context questions, maybe like one or two, right? Um, but if we're looking for an 800, then what can we do? Even if it's extra, even if it's a lot.
I'm gonna do a little bit more research on this and look at some resources online. But the only thing is, for transitions, there is a finite amount of transitions that they can test you. Essentially. They can totally, that's reasonable. They can study that. Words in context, I mean, how many words are in the English language? Like a million? Like you don't know where they're gonna pull the words from, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's not like they can just go to a quite like a bank of like words and just know them. Like there's gonna be an instance where they're gonna encounter a word that they don't know, they've never seen. That's just gonna happen, right? Um, like it's just unavoidable because you can't know all the words in English language. It's impossible. Um,
That's true.
so and I feel like I know a lot of words, but I've never really critically thought about why. It's probably just because I read books when I was a kid, and that's not something you can do in a month, right? To study for.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
and so I'm trying to think of like, okay, so how can we make this more applicable to kids, like, people who maybe don't spend a lot of time reading, or that, they just haven't heard these words before. And so that's kind of how I think about it. I do think some good practice for words in context would maybe to be, um, maybe go on a Quizlet and like look at a bunch of high level words and like try and guess what they mean, right? So go on a Quizlet, look at a word, be like, I think this means X, and then you flip it and you like check to see if you're right. That might be good training. Um,
Yeah, probably. That's different.
but but I don't think that's like foolproof because there's just no way you're gonna be able to study all the words in English language that
So one thing I've learned, um, in studying in general, and this applies in investing, but it also I would assume it applies in studying. So it's a universal rule. It's kind of finding the inverse of things. So instead of doing words on contracts, try finding context in words. It's
Mm,
like you're gonna put a word up. What context fits the best of this?
mhm.
And so then it's kind of like reverse psychology. You're teaching them out. You're trying to help them find the context that fits the word instead of the word that fits the context. Does that make sense?
Okay, okay.
That might be a way for us to do that. I think wording context is going to be the most difficult out of all of them to figure out what the most um, effective approach. The rest are kind of straightforward,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
down,
let me do a little bit more studying on that. But
yeah.
yeah, otherwise, for the project itself, right? Do you want me to just get started on like a foundation of because I don't know if I can mm, like before we start filming, right? And before the stuff arrives here. And let's say before the next meeting that we have next week, right? In the next week, what would you like to have done? What would you like to see from it?
Yeah, let's set that was really good actually. I wanted to bring that up. Let's set like weekly tasks so we're done by the end of the week.
Mhm.
So I told you before we started, this is gonna be like 90% planning, 10% execution.
Yep.
A lot of planning is involved. So we're really not gonna be recording anything probably until mid-December, maybe
Cool.
like early December. So yeah, I would say by the end of this week,
Mhm.
let's try to do let's try to make a plan for if there's 10, let me see how many total there.
Mhm.
So I believe that there's 10 total topics.
It's in the document. Let me open it up.
Yeah, I added some today. So
Mhm.
crafting English course. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 total.
Yep.
So let's try finishing two by the
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could just get started on like from top to bottom, right? I can just get started on central ideas and details and then command evidence.
yes.
Okay, wait. Okay, I'll just try and get two done. And now that I'm thinking about it, those are like kind of the hardest ones. Command evidence is really thorough. But I'll get two done for you. That's
Okay.
what I'm up with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in terms of
And
what you want to get done, like what do you want me to get done for those? Like you
yeah,
want
yeah.
a document, etc.
Like I'm talking everything. So like that should be the final. Like it should be like that. So you should know what kind of video we're recording for it.
Mm-hmm.
You should all the subtopics of it are broken down. So you know like exactly what the mini parts of that is, for both of them, whatever you pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then also a description for all the videos, the formulas that you need to make. By the way, I'm going to give you Canva access.
Oh,
Um,
wonderful. Great.
yeah, you'll be able to
Wow.
design some really cool stuff.
You
It'll be
guys
great.
have Canva? Like the pro stuff? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've been using
yeah,
the
we
free
have
one.
Canva Pro. I'll give it to you. Um, and yeah, so Canva Pro, and we're gonna design some amazing stuff. Like we want this to be beautiful. And we have color schemes. Our Stuttering Plus is like a yellowish. You've kind of seen it's like goldenish yellow.
Mhm.
Um, we now have Stuttering Light for students who can't really afford Stuttering Plus.
Mhm.
Um, that's gonna be a blue. So we'll change our colors at the end. It's not a huge issue,
Mhm.
but yeah. And the free is different. But yeah, two fully scripted. Everything is broken down. All the topics and everything you need to record, all the information is broken down, and the lessons. So if you remember how we structured it, it was like teach, try, explain, and then assign work. So
Mhm.
you'll go through that. That's how we handle it.
Mhm. Okay. So whatever, it should be able to be just pasted onto the school site at that point, right? And all we have to do is just get
Mm,
video from that.
I was thinking instead of posting it off the school site, I was thinking of putting it on like making a Canva thing and just putting the Canva thing on school. Because to be honest, school is kind of ugly.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. Okay.
I want something that's like visually appealing, so the students feel like, hey, like,
Like an image is what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's still words, but like it's an image that you import onto school.
I see what. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So check out the UI for school as well, because you can import like videos, you can import links, PDFs. So if you need to use PDFs, that's also something you could use.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's you can import any kind of file on there, images, like whatever you got.
Mhm.
So try that out. And I think I just sent you something. That's what we want done.
Mhm. Okay. All right. I see here. All right. Sounds good. All right. So I'll make an outline. I'll tinker with Canva a bit. I'll see. I might make the formula on Canva. Let's see. Yeah, I'll play around with Canva and see what works best, and then we can talk about it next week, whatever.
Cool. Yeah. I will give you, I might give you access to your own account. I might give you access to ours. We'll see. They make us pay like 30 per month after it. So
That's
I just
crazy.
think,
Yeah, either way is fine. I really don't mind.
yeah, I'll probably just give you access twice. But
Mhm.
yeah, just that, whatever I send you, the screenshot plus the video recordings,
Okay.
sorry, video scripts.
Mhm.
And
So you want video scripts done, like script,
let's get the script started. But
script. Okay.
we will we will work on the scripts together. I will
Okay.
probably do the scripts for you because the videos we want them to be engaging.
Hmm.
And to be honest, you probably don't have that much experience with
I
videos and all that.
nope.
And that's fine. So
Mhm.
that's kind of my expertise. I know how to keep attention, all that kind of stuff. So whatever diagrams or visuals or whatever you want crafted, like be creative. I want you to think outside the box here. If you're thinking, hey, there's a certain type of pyramid I want to craft for like words and context, then we could do that.
Mhm.
If you're saying, hey, I'm thinking of this like bar graph for the command of evidence, like whatever you need, just
Mhm.
think of it. More visuals is more better. People love to see stuff. People love metaphors. But be creative. I'm being very vague here because I really want you to like be open to different ways of teaching people.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
agree.
also, one more thing, it's kind of
Mhm.
open to you. If there's someone else's course who you kind of want to see how they did it and want to learn how they did it, just take inspiration. You can even buy other people's course. This is literally paying for our competitors. I don't care. If you want to learn from them, you can do that too. It's fine.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about looking at some like Princeton review stuff and looking at some courses online. Um, but I'll be doing that and seeing what they do. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll work on it myself. I'll workshop it a little bit and I'll let you. Reach out to you if I need any input or feedback or anything like that.
Yeah. Work through, especially for the scripts. Send me that. That's something we're gonna need a lot of work on. But keep in mind, we're gonna try to keep this majority video,
Hmm.
and majority graphics and majority like stuff they can see rather than like big blocks of text. People hate big blocks of text.
Okay.
Um, focus on visuals.
Okay. Focus on visuals. Focus on. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I will get you. Try to get two Canva graphics done with the approaches. Try to get an idea of like, okay, I want a video here, here, and there. Um, get an idea of how I'm going to structure this stuff on school. Like, okay, that's the main topic, and we got these subtopics, and where we put in like the learning to stuff, right? Or like sample questions. Okay. All right.
I'm just writing some stuff for you.
Yeah.
There's one more thing. Shoot. Words, tags, order. Things, things, just something. Okay, wait. Could you speak back to me what I told you? Because I feel like I said something.
Hmm?
Could you speak back to me what I told you? I feel like I missed something. I was supposed to tell you something.
Um, we were just saying we should really focus on the visuals. People don't like big blocks of text, right? Um, and what I should deliver is I'll get Canva access, make some Canva stuff, about the approach, be creative in terms of how I want to make that graphic so it's most comprehensive to students. And then I'll get back to you on 2 of those. I'll try and make those 2 in a condition where potentially we could even post it at that point. But obviously we'll discuss it. I would know where I want the videos, how many videos, how I'm going to divide it up into subtopics. Also look into other courses or resources, right, where they break down SAT stuff for inspiration, see what other people are doing. That's kind of what we talked about.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to add one other thing to that. I just touched all that too. But I just want to add one other thing. Simplicity is key. Simplicity is key over everything. We want density of information over overload of information, which means in one statement, that should be able to solve like 3 problems rather than having 3 statements for 3 problems. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the less they need to remember, the more likely they are to do well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good thing to keep in mind. Yeah, always keep it as simple as possible. If you feel the need to delete something, delete it. But I feel like I'm kind of the master in deletion. So try this. I want you to first dump everything in your mind that you think would help someone, and then I'll come in and I'll kind of come in and edit. Oh, we don't need this. We can condense this. You know what I mean?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want me to do this week to help you make this easier?
Hmm.
You're the boss, so some.
Let me think a little bit.
Yeah, take your time.
Do you guys have any like examples of videos that you've made that you think would be kind of what you want this to look like?
Let me think I made one on YouTube. So I used to have a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and I made like 2 SAT videos and I gave up because I was bored. But I can just send you that. I don't think they were good though. But I will send you a dude who I think is a really good inspiration for here, I'll send it later. My phone's loud.
Mhm.
That's just from you. Um, so this guy's like he's really good at courses. He's one of the best courses, like teaching people stuff and getting them to apply it. So
Mhm.
I'll send that over to you.
Mhm.
So you have an idea when I get home.
He's
And
called
then,
Ahormozy. Ahormozy.
no, it's his name's Alex.
Alex Hormozy. Okay.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. But I'll send you some of his like good work so you don't need to like go for yourself. So you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah, that'll give me a good idea of like what kind of stuff, what
he's
kind
in
of
the
end product do we want.
yeah, he's in the business niche, but the same principles apply. Like the way he presents it, the way the graphics come up. Don't focus on the what you want to focus on is the way he conveys information and also um the way the graphics come up and everything like that. So you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I think I just need to I'm gonna start working on this a little bit. Like I'm probably gonna just start on like central IDs and stuff. And then I will let you know if I have anything that I feel like I need your guys's I feel like I need you to do, right? On my part.
Yes.
Like I can't do it myself. But right now I don't really have anything other than just like what do you want this to look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all for me. Yeah, now it's just like getting this shit done, right?
Yeah. I'd
Action.
say start off with an easy one
Mhm.
and then try to finish it fast so that you can send it to me and then I'll tell you what I think. And then from there, we'll kind of edit it together so you're not like putting a bunch of work in first and then I say, oh, this isn't that great. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So start on the easy thing. Maybe like what's the easiest one?
Probably rhetorical synthesis.
Yeah, rhetorical. Yeah. So try rhetorical synthesis, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, this is perfect. How we do this? Here's what I want you to change. Here's what I think you should do. And then you're not wasting your time doing the second one
Okay.
the way
All
I
right. Yeah.
want.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay. I'll start on the rhetorical synthesis, send you an example, and we can go from
Perfect. But brainstorm. Be creative. I'm gonna keep on saying it. You're the
there.
boss.
Okay. Cool. Um.
I mean,
Yeah. All right. That's
is that
very
it?
exciting. Um. Yeah. I don't have any more questions. For you or any more topics of discussion. How about you? You got anything else?
Anything else you think would make it easier for you? Like literally anything. You want me to buy something for you? You want me to uh, get you anything? Subscriptions?
Not right now, but I'll let you know if I do. Because I mean, you're getting me Canva access and you're getting me the video editing stuff. So I'm covered for right now. But
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah. So that should be it. Keep me
Mhm.
updated throughout voice messages, text, anything. I'll also send you stuff. Send
Yep.
me the work you're doing through docs as well, wherever you're working on.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll keep checking up, see how you're doing.
All right. Cool, dude. All right. Let's get this
Amazing.
started. Let's actually get this started. Let's go.
Excited for your course. I want to see what you make.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully I
All right.
wow you. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. You've
We'll,
wowed me in all your English classes. I know it's going to be great.
okay. Great. All right,
All
dude.
right. You have a good
Uh,
one, man.
you too. Yeah. Have a great rest of your workout.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Later.